What is the best equipment for Fortnite? If you're looking to upgrade your setup, or if you're just curious, then this is the perfect video for you. Let's get started. Starting off, I want to begin with something we all need, which is something to sit on. So the best chair, without a doubt, is the Herman Miller M-Buddy. The only problem with this chair is its ridiculous price point of $1,845. But if you really want to get a chair like this, pre-owned chairs go for about $500, and even less if it's a company that has had them for a little while and are looking to sell off a pretty massive stock. There are no chairs that even compete with this one, and someday I really hope to own one. But $1,845 is a ludicrous price I just can't justify spending. Since this one is just over the top expensive, I have to add an alternative chair to this video, and that is an IKEA office chair. IKEA office chairs are mostly incredibly comfortable and better than every typical gaming chair you can get. They're also cheaper. If you need a new chair and you're on a budget, go to IKEA, test out a few chairs, and you can definitely find an amazing office chair for under 150 bucks. So now that you've got your chair, we need a monitor for you to play on. And obviously, here you want a monitor with a high refresh rate, or in other words, high hertz. There's one thing you also really want to try and look for when upgrading your monitor, and that is something called DIAC. DIAC means dynamic accuracy, and the setting is made by the company M1K3. DIAC makes your game sharper and less motion blurry. The difference isn't massive, but it feels very good to play on, and for that reason, I recommend the M1K3 Zowie XL2546K. The only real downside is that out of the box, the screen comes with impressively bad colors. However, this is super easy to change and really shouldn't be a problem for any of us. Put on some digital vibrance and up your brightness by a few percent and you're all good. The reason I also don't really recommend a 360Hz monitor is because it's like $200 more for nothing pretty much, since no one gets 360 FPS in endgame. Sure, in creative, you'll definitely feel slightly better compared to if you're on 240, but we really don't care about creative, do we? Moving on, we gotta talk about mouse pads. And I feel like I have some really good suggestions here, so if you're in the market for a new mouse pad, or even two, pay close attention. From personal experience, the absolute best mouse pad I've ever played with is a mousepad called X-Ray Pad Aqua Control Plus. The mousepad is incredibly smooth, but also has great stopping power, which means that as soon as you flick onto a target and stop your mouse movement, it instantly stops where you flicked. Other mousepads that I can recommend are Inked Gaming Pads, those are really good, Sky Pads, and some of the Artisan mousepads. But by far, my personal favorite is the Aqua Control Plus, and you really just can't go wrong with it. Whereas on some Sky Pads and Artisan pads, you pretty much need a sleeve for the pads not to be sticky, which I'm really not a fan of. I don't enjoy wearing sleeves at all when playing. And on your mousepad, you need a mouse. And talking about gaming mice is difficult because pretty much every medium to high tier gaming mouse nowadays has a good optical sensor, and they're all relatively lightweight. The mouse I'm currently using is the Logitech G Pro X Superlight, and it feels amazing for me. That's because I'm a palm grip player and I enjoy lighter mice. The Razer Viper Ultima is also a top tier mouse, but I'm unsure whether or not I enjoy it more than the GPX. When choosing a gaming mouse, I recommend looking at your hand size as well as your grip when playing. For someone with a small hand, the Final Mouse Cape Town, though nearly impossible to buy, is probably one of the best mice you can get. And for someone with a bigger hand like myself, I think the GPX is a better option. Unlike with keyboards, there are no answer to what the best gaming mouse is. You can become the best player in your region on pretty much any medium to high tier mouse. Keyboards are next in line, and here I'm gonna hurt a lot of feelings by starting off by saying that the Razer Huntsman TE is some absolute ass. That keyboard is beyond popular within the Fortnite scene. So a year ago, I thought I'd buy it and give it a try. And oh my god, that keyboard stinks in comparison to the Apex Pro Tinkulus. However, the Apex Pro isn't the best keyboard in the scene, and if you're gonna upgrade your keyboard, please do yourself the favor of ordering the Wooting 60HE. The only issue with this keyboard is that it's only out for pre-orders and it's very expensive, but they are ready to be sent out in just over a month. This is not by far, but it is a keyboard that's even better and faster than the Apex Pro TKL, and it's undoubtedly gonna be the best keyboard for Fortnite players. And the second to last thing I want to talk about in today's video is headsets. And I had a Beyerdynamic 990 for the longest time, but recently I just swapped it out for a HyperX Cloud 2 headset, and I've been performing better, hearing better, and overall just enjoying the HyperX Cloud 2 infinitely more than the Beyerdynamic. That's twice as expensive. Let me put it simply, the HyperX Cloud 2 will never hold you back, but the Beyerdynamic 990 most definitely will. And the final thing I would recommend for your setup, regardless if you have a wired mouse or not, is a mouse bungee to hold your mouse cord on. With a wired mouse, it's obvious why you should have a mouse bungee, but with a wireless, it's quite beneficial to just hold your mouse cord in the bungee so it's as close as possible to the mouse. The best mouse bungee I've ever had is the Sawi Camedy 2, and I can highly recommend it. On that note, everyone, I just want to say thank you all so very much for watching all the way to the end of today's video. If you did like it, consider dropping a like and a sub, and please go on and have an amazing day, everyone. My name is M1K3 Editz. Stay safe and take care. She know me, she'll know.